You're listening to 91.1 The Avenue. This is Ann Koenig, and this is the Avenue's Mile of Music coverage. We're talking about Mile of Music 8, which is happening in downtown Appleton, August 5th through the 8th. And our Mile of Music coverage is made possible with support from Nicolet Bank. I am talking with Mile of Music veteran Scott Peoples. So, Scott is somebody who attends all the miles, and you hit them very hard. You see a lot of sets, you've documented all, but you're most famously known for researching ahead of time and helping other music fans get to know what bands are coming and what to be excited about.
Yeah, that really makes it extra fun for me. I think for a lot of people, the Mile of Music is so overwhelming and they think, oh, how am I going to enjoy this? I don't know these bands, I don't know their music. And I was excited from year one because I always loved original music and the idea of artists pouring their heart and soul into their craft. But I was overwhelmed too. So I think the first year I kind of stumbled around and saw some good stuff. But then year 2, 3, I started to think, well, I like to write. Why don't I listen a little bit, decide whether I like the band or not? And if I put a yes by the band when I'm doing my initial research, then I'll write a little paragraph about it. So I've been doing that for about the last 5 years, and I throw it on Facebook. And it ends up that it takes about 45 minutes to write one paragraph about a band.
I understand that.
Because you're listening to the music and you're trying to come up with creative ways to say things that somebody else hasn't said. So I'm getting better with finding words that really draw people in and get them excited about the bands as much as I am.
I know fans of the Mile are always eager to get the lists. They release the lists of artists 50 at a time, and then you scurry off and start doing your research. And so Scott has taken that to a new level, and he generously shares it with others. You listen to the music and then give some summary and opinions, and it really helps. I've read them for years. As a matter of fact, I think we printed them in the past on the Avenue's email newsletter for others to enjoy. So you happen to highlight about, is it 35 of them in your write-ups?
The way I do it is I come up with bands, and when I write a review, then I get into it. Like I said, it might be an hour I'm taking to write a little paragraph. Then I'm thinking, I really want to see this band. So I write, if I come up with 45 bands or 35 bands, that means I'm going to see 35 bands or 45 during the Mile of Music. So there's a band called the Accidentals this year. 2 women and a man who plays drums, and they're all 3 of them harmonize. They write brilliant songs. They get into progressive rock, folk rock, Americana, and I think I put them on my list 3 times on my schedule. I have my schedule right here in front of me, and I have numbers 14, 12, 12, 6. So that's how many bands, if I do it right, I'm going to see this year.
This is 91.1 The Avenue, talking with Scott Peoples, and he is a Mile of Music veteran. As a fan and attendee, you've been to all 8 of them. You will have been to all 8 now.
Yes, I've been to all 8 of them. I wrote something else that the Mile asked me to write about, kind of highlights from every year, and I look back that first year I wrote down I heard 22 hours of music. And in more recent years, it's more like 55 hours in 4 days. So that's a lot of music. You start at 11 a.m. or noon, and you go till midnight. And, once in a while I'll stop for a piece of pizza. But the logistics is funny when you say that, because I kind of plan out and talk it over with several friends, and they kind of say, well, I'm going to be at the outer edge, so then I'll be able to go to Lawrence University right afterwards. And then they look at my schedule, and I'm at one end of College Avenue, and then 5 minutes later I'm supposed to be literally a mile away at the other end. And
well, I've
they
seen
said,
you
how are
on
you
a
supposed
bike.
to do that?
Yeah.
Well, in a couple nights, usually I bring a bike. People have laughed at me running to try to get somewhere. But yeah, driving from one end to the other is not what I do usually. And what I appreciate now is really hearing a full 50-minute set of music, because it's not how many bands you see, it's getting the full band experience. So once in a while I'll try to kind of split the difference and hear a few songs of in when I'm supposed to only be hearing one band. But a band like the Accidentals, I really want to hear the start and the end. There's a band called South for Winter, really puts together carefully crafted songs with cello and
There's a
soft
lot of
acoustic guitar.
cello being represented in this year's
There,
lineup.
there must be about 8 bands with cello. Sarah Clanton is another one I'm really looking forward to, who plays cello. Orelai, which started locally, and now they've Stephanie Russell is her name now. She moved to Michigan, now Arkansas. So she's not local anymore. So a band like Orelai coming back to Appleton is exciting, and hear what she does with her cello playing and her beautiful vocals.
We're talking with Scott Peoples. He puts research into all the artists that are coming to the mile and help guide others about it. There's no wrong way to do the mile, that's for sure. However, it works for you. But Scott is definitely my lead example of people who research it and make a plan and get out there and see a whole bunch of it. So, thank you for sharing all of that hard work with us and our listeners. We appreciate it. We hope you'll get out at the Mile of Music. It's going on in downtown Appleton now through the end of Sunday, August 5th through 8th. This is 91.1 The Avenue. I'm Ann Koenig. This is the Avenue's Mile of Music coverage made possible with support from Nicolet Bank. Thanks for joining us, Scott.
Thanks.